I joined the RFS when we were living in Barara. I was on my way home one afternoon and there was a big fire in Hornsby and there was a lady trapped in a house, and I helped some policemen get her out. And I realised then that when you live in the bush, you have really an obligation to do something about protecting homes and people. So I joined there, and that was in 1968. I moved back into this area because that's where we came from, and I transferred to Belrose Brigade, and I held the rank of deputy there, as I did in the Barara Brigade. Then when Davidson opened up here, I transferred across and I held the rank of deputy, senior deputy. I was captain for 8 years, then a reserve group officer, then a group officer. I am now what they call a retired group officer, and I can wear these lapels when I'm doing training and so on, but not when we're operational. Well, attending your first fires are always a bit daunting. When I first joined, we didn't have any training at all. We were just told to use the hose and hose the fire. That was the training. It wasn't till in the mid-80s that they brought in formalised training, which has been very, very beneficial. I guess the issues are the uncertainty of what the fire is going to do, but if you have confidence and trust in the training that you will get and the people around you, that will reduce the concern. However, never ever lose that respect for the fire, because the fire at times can do things that are quite unpredictable. So always be wary of what that fire can do. Well, the service has changed dramatically in the 45 years that I've been in it. When I first joined, there was no training whatsoever. You just did what the officer told you to do and hope you were doing the right thing. I had to pay, we were given overalls at that time, white overalls and boots, and you have to pay half the cost of the equipment. Then over the years they brought in issuing of equipment. They changed the colours of it now. You get, used to be blue and yellow pants. Now it's yellow shirt and yellow pants. And the major change, to my way of thinking, is the professionalism that's been brought into the service, the training that's there for you. To become a group officer, as I mentioned before, I had to attend, I think it's about 10 courses, some of them compulsory, some of them optional, things like first aid, and I recommend everybody does the first aid course. There's the rural fire driving course, there's the breathing apparatus course, but the main line courses that you go through to become an officer have changed dramatically, and they keep changing them and updating them so that they are keeping up with current trends. When we met with the fire brigade, they considered that we were a bunch of yokels, and we were untrained, in which we were. A lot of people had experience, of course, at fighting fires, but it was what they taught themselves. Now they consider us, I hope anyway, somewhere near equals. Certainly, in most cases with fighting bushfires, we're way in advance of them. But we also train our people now to do property fires, house fires, factories and so on. But we always use the New South Wales Fire and Rescue to assist us. Well, the benefits of being in this service, as far as I'm concerned, apart from the fact that you get a free National Park sticker, which is now worth, I think, something like about $190. That's by the way. The main advantages I've found are the people that I've met through the service. It's interesting to note that it's quite a few people who have met their future partners through the service and married them or live with them. But it's the friendship, the camaraderie that you get with the meeting everyone. It's not only just the people in this brigade, but it's in all the various brigades that you associate with within the district. And if you get the opportunity of going away, you'll find that Doesn't matter whether you go to Dubbo or Victoria or so on, the people are a similar sort of nature. The service seems to get rid of, or people drop out if they're not the right person. And to me, the other big advantage is I'm able to do something for the community. I believe if everybody puts in at least an hour, 2 hours a week helping the community, the place has got to be a far better place in which to live. Well, the disadvantages, to my way of thinking, are not all that critical. I guess it's the time commitment that you have to put into the service, but that is something that is your own decision. You may put in an hour, you may put in a day. In this brigade, you get allocated to a duty crew, which is once every 4 weeks that you should come up, but if you can't come up, there's no real problem. You can come on the other days. The pay rate's not real good. We are volunteers, but it's interesting enough to know that at one stage there was a move to have us paid, and most people rejected it because we are volunteers, and it's that volunteer image that we have that we want to protect. So it's really, I guess, a lot of times you'll be sitting around. We have what we call tow band days, where you'll sit at the station waiting for a fire call. Majority of tow band days we don't get fires, but you're required to be sitting there, and you might go for some time before you get actually a fire call. If you're joining just to be able to get in the truck and hear the sirens and see the red and blue lights on, you will be disappointed because it doesn't happen that often. But when it does happen, it's all hands. The most significant fire I've been to, it's very hard to pinpoint it down to particularly one. As you can imagine, over 45 years I've attended quite a few fires. But in 1994 we had very severe fires in the Warringah Pittwater area, and I was sent with my truck to protect Panasonic at Belrose. Now in those days Forest Way was only a single lane traffic each way, and we were there to protect it. The fire came up on the eastern side of Forest Way, and before we knew it, we were completely surrounded by fire. We had to hide behind Panasonic to protect ourselves, and the fire went straight over the top of us across onto Monavale Road. And this was about mid-afternoon, and it was almost as if someone had turned the sun out. It just went almost completely dark with the volume of smoke and flame and so on, and it was quite an eerie and frightening situation. However, we followed our training principles and took cover, and obviously I'm here so we survived. I had a similar experience when I was at a fire in Victoria where we were down in the farming country, and the big fires came through there, and the smoke was that thick that it literally blocked out the sun. And again, it was mid-afternoon and it was dark, and all the birds went very quiet, the dogs all started to bark, and the crew was asking me what it was about, and it was one of those sort of situations that left a little bit of fear in us. I think if you decide to join the organisation, you're making a very sensible and a very worthwhile decision. You're going to meet a lot of nice people, maybe one or two of the other sort, but that's life. You're going to have a great experience with these people. My advice mainly would be to look and listen, attend the various training opportunities that will come your way, do as your crew leader tells you, particularly at a fire, and there's no way in 5 minutes in firefighting that you're going to become an expert. We do have people join up, and they do the first basic firefighter course and they think they're experts. I've been in it 45 years. I've been to a lot of fires, a lot of hazard reductions. I don't consider myself an expert. I do believe I'm well trained and well experienced, but the word expert frightens me. So just take your time, learn as much as you possibly can, listen to others, but mostly enjoy yourself.